Hi guys, my name is Noni Matigela. Welcome to the Noni M podcast. So today we have Unjabs. We have Unjabs guys. I've stolen him from Upatricia. I was like, guys, namdiafuna. So silapha ke. We are going to do some reactions on previous things that were said in that courtroom of Jadrata. You know how they are, you know how it is there. But here is Njabs Uzasichazela just a bit about something. But right now, we're gonna react on things that Uzungu has said. You know Uzungu the liar. We're dealing with that man. Well, I wonder where is he? What does he do with who, where, and why he is there? Anyway, let's give it up to Unjabs so that he can tell us what does he have for us in store today.
Sanibonani Dumelang, sanibonani kaNoni.
Right,
I can't believe this. You're right. I can't believe I'm just like this online celeb now. This case. Imagine since people are like saying Jabula for president. Imagine Jabula for president.
Because you're bringing things that we knew Patricia is capable of such. But to bring you into the mix and you are bringing all the technical side of things and be saying, here are the receipts, it's top tier, Mdasekai. So what do you expect us to do?
Yeah, no, I think you guys, you know that we've been for almost, it's a third year now in the case that we've been talking about these things on TikTok. I fought, I made enemies, remember what blessed and everything like that.
I was there, I remember. That's it, you fake.
Yes, I mean it's been a long running. So, but I mean, to your offense, I mean, like I'll always definitely come and share things with you, Noni, and the team. But you know what? I don't want to just talk about Zungu in isolation. If with your permission, I want to share with you a video, basically something that I need to play through. Then we can then start hearing. I'll tell you more about this video and what then.
Thank you. Go on.
To this now, the High Court in Pretoria has heard about how a senior police officer, Major General Shadrack Sibiya, who was fired in 2015, continued to be part of the investigation into the murder of former Orlando Pirates goalkeeper Senzo Meyiwa. Now, Sibiya, who has previously denied being part of the Meyiwa murder case's investigating team, was fired in 2015 before he was reinstated in 2022 and promoted to the position of National Deputy Police Commissioner. This after winning his legal bid in the Labour Court. However, state witness Sizwe Zungu has told the court about a meeting he attended with Sibiya and Major General Vincent Lishabane in 2019, where the discussions centered around the 5 accused possible involvement in the murder. Let's now speak to SABC News reporter Sipho Kekana, who's been watching this particular case in court. Sipho, this is quite an interesting turn, especially when you see what's happening.
Yes, you are right, Bongiwe. The state witness has now placed Sibiya right at the heart of this investigation that has now placed all the 5 accused at the scene of Senzo Meyiwa in Vosloorus on that night that the former Bafana captain was shot and killed. So Zungu says that while warrant officer Makubo and Colonel Joyce Buthelezi rejected his version, Sibiya was among the top police officials who accepted that particular version. Let's take a listen.
You say that present at that meeting with Lishabane was also General Sibiya present, correct?
Yes.
And you state that at the time General Sibiya was the head of Hawks in Gauteng, correct?
I was informed by the general that he was the head of the Hawks.
Now, if I inform you that at the time of this meeting, that is in 2019, General Sibiya was fired from, at the time he was already fired from the SAPS. He was only reinstated in 2020.
I heard that thereafter.
So in essence, at the time of this meeting, Sibiya, who's also interested in this matter, was a civilian. He was not an officer of SAPS, correct?
Yes.
And you state that that him, Sibia, told you that the information that you had relayed to the police was correct and accurate, correct?
Yes.
Now, as a civilian, how will you have known that information is correct?
We no need advert. Sorry, I'm just gonna try to skip this thing, and I don't know how to skip it.
Yeah, get that. It's those
How
short
we,
ones.
how are we gonna cut it?
I'll cut it. Type, skip.
Ngingazi ukuthi wayekwazi kanjani kodwa engikwazi ukuthi mina ngangazi ukuthi uyiphoyisa ngalezo sikhathi.
I wouldn't know as to how he got to know, but what I knew at the time was that he was a police officer.
So, Bongiwe, there, so during Sipho Ramosipile's reopened cross-examination, the court then heard about how Zungu was related to accused number 2, Bongani Ntanzi. But Ntanzi says that this cousin of his, this possible cousin of his, the first time that he saw him was last week when he was giving testimony in court.
Noni, I'm stopping it here.
Okay.
This is where I'm stopping my brief introduction basically to this thing of Zungu. Now, remember that Zungu is Constable Zungu.
Yes.
Zungu is in the center of the evidence in this case.
Yes.
Now he says that him as a police officer, his version was not trusted by other police officer, but it was trusted by a former police officer. But then now, Noni, people that have watched a series of this Senzo documentary. Ne?
Yes, I did.
Yes. We saw there is a clip there in that former documentary, ne? Which we don't want to be the one that are saying to the people, what does the clip say, who says what, and everything like that. Now, I want us to bring this thing in context. We've heard what Zungu said in the clip on the court record. Before we can just react, and Noni and your friend. But then now what becomes interesting here is that now Zungu says his version can only be trusted by a former police officer. But what is important for us to note now for this searching is that we will play a clip. What does this former police officer say is what happened on the incident? You see, when we say on the incident, it's like on the date of the incident. When we say the incident, Noni, we are saying what really happened on the actual day of the incident. Now, we must note that, Noni, these people, when they were actually recording these things, they were just being called by who's the production company. They were never forced to give this testimony. What stands out is that this former police officer, I hope now we know it's General CB. This is what he says to the documentary. He says that he was amongst a lot of people. Let me just say. He says he was amongst a lot of people. He was amongst other people, but let me just play this thing so that I'm not being misquoted when I'm on. I like to bring the receipt on because I don't want to be misquoted people. Now, Noni and your fans, let's join the dots now. We have Zungu. Zungu says the police officers who is Warrant Officer Makobo and Colonel Buthelezi. Remember, they're the same officers that have opened a case which is known as Case 375.
Yes.
Which is them is defeating the ends of justice.
Yes.
In the clip that we played now, we played you a clip where a General Sibiya is saying that the crime scene was contaminated. People were there in the crime scene and they narrating the story that there were two people that jumped on them on the case. They jumped to Sensor and the shooting. They're trying to narrate the story in terms of what had happened. Now, when we try to listen to Zungu's version, and we know that Zungu is lying.
Yes.
I'm not tempted now to say that now the general might not be straightforward with the truth.
You wouldn't be wrong to say that.
Yeah, because for me, unfortunately, I can't use this allegedly. Things you can forgive me because I stick with the record. For me, unfortunately, I stick with the record. I stick with what people are saying. Zungu says his version was only trusted by Sibiya. But Zungu's version is a lie. It's based on a lie. How is it that now Sibiya will support the lies of Zungu? But what is then absent and very striking at this point, known, is that Baloyi, there is no statement, at least that we're being told of in the docket of General Sibiya, that at least that there was a meeting with Zungu, and then also the meeting that also confirmed that Sibiya's statement on the sequence of events of what had transpired to the scene. So in the absence of those things, I'll still maintain that Zungu is lying about the general, because I don't think that general, if that is true, that he will have stood by Zungu's version and say Zungu's version is correct. If indeed in that clip, he says that the crime scene was already contaminated.
Yes.
And he was not there. He also is narrating a hearsay story that people in the house, this is what they are saying. But when what is different is Zungu. Zungu says he was with the people that did the 5 accused.
That's his claim, yes.
Yes. Now, to tie through to the 5 accused, then Gininda says Ntanzi confess, because that's Ntanzi's confession that is being trusted now. Because Moses' confession is alleged to be misleading. But listen to Ntanzi's confession. It also says somebody was standing under the tree. In this place, there is no tree outside Kotlanang Street. There is no tree. There is no tree. We can go now on Google Maps and actually pull this thing out. There is no tree. Your fans, Noni, they can just go and check themselves out. There is no tree. So now, because now both Sergeant Mohola said he investigated Sibiya's confession and they found Sibiya's confession to be misleading. Yes. It's only Ntanzi's confession that appears to be truthful. But then there's no trees outside. So, because Ntanzi's confession saying somebody must take position, they must guard. I was the only one who didn't have a gun. I had the small gun in my pocket that was given to me by my pizza, but I did not use it. But then now it's the same person, who's a known gun dealer. It's got 30 cases that are pending before.
And he don't know how to use a gun.
Mind you, Ntanzi doesn't have a driver's license. So how does he travel? Because he's got cases again, I go Cape Town, that's the Eastern Cape. Imagine uhamba nge-Greyhound or uhamba nge-road and the guns.
And the chances are Ntanzi has never flown using a balloon.
No. He can't. You see, the flight on the plane is very straight. The X-ray machine and everything. So you can't be a drug dealer and you can't be a gun dealer but traveling with guns on the public transport. My goodness. No, good thing
And
in
he has
this
never
case,
written even he has never even at least Sibia Moses Sibia attempted to do a learner's license at least and got it at some point after failing how many times. But Untanzi, there's nothing that says he has even tried to do a learner's license, for crying out loud.
yeah, you see, that's
And yet
interesting.
we are to believe that he is a spam dealer. How?
No, I can't. I'm even struggling to believe that, no, because I've even covered before that Ntanzi, they're saying, gets arrested for a case number 16310 of Kwanongom. The people that were arrested, I think they were convicted sometimes in 2020 or 2021 or 2022, March 25, somewhere there. But those people, when you follow when they were arrested, they were only arrested in September or August, somewhere there. So that means, therefore, the case cannot be 16310. It can only be 163.8 or 9, depending on the actual month, but it definitely was not October. So now, even that case number 16310 technically doesn't exist. No, it doesn't exist, because if you arrested Ntanzi in connection with the Makimba Ngwenya and all the people that were arrested then no, then that case doesn't exist, because those people were arrested in August or September.
And besides that, in James, we do not have the list of the 30 case numbers. It's just something that the brigadier said. It ended there.
Well, we know with Mngomezulu that he went through to look at the docket. And Mngomezulu says it's appeared that to have one statement that is photocopied amongst 4 or 5 dockets or something like that. So now, yes. So now when you look at that, and who's the person that also is narrating that same story? It's I think it's Simpiwe somebody, and they say Simpiwe since died. Yes, Simpiwe Buthelezi.
The one that is not okay upstairs.
No, he has since passed on. No, he was discharged on a medical parole. Basically.
Yes, that's the one.
And there's well, on this case, I think I said too soon that I don't know, allegedly. In that case, they said that he was poisoned. And people are saying that he was poisoned while he was in jail. Basically, that's why he passed on. Basically, so that's what really actually transpired with relating to that part. Basically, so now, then you ask yourself, we have Zungu that is light as a police officer.
Wait, then before you go to that, Jeps, I wrote down as we were listening to that clip, right?
Yes.
General was fired in 2015, right? From SAPS.
Yes.
There was a meeting in 2019, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And then this one, how does he attend a SAPS meeting, but he's not part of SAPS in 2019?
You see,
was how we lying about the general?
Yes, how are we doing there for time? Oh, we still have 9 minutes. Okay, it's fine.
Yes.
Still go to time. Now, this is what happens then. Because we don't have General Sibia's statement, so I can tell you that Baloyi may have had the ulterior motive, with relating to that.
Okay.
Because I don't see why Zungu will introduce General Sibia on his statement.
Yes.
Let me explain to you. Because Zungu says he went to Telkom Towers. He wanted to report the matter to the commissioner because all the other police been sitting with the information that he knows that he was with the killers, but he has not been mentioning this information.
Yes.
Now, these two things happen parallel because at the same time, Absalom Zungu's father says there was a fight somewhere in Jabul and everybody, they were fighting. And then somebody also confessed that, you know what, because so and so killed Senzo Mayo and everything like that.
Yes,
so now,
I remember that
so
story.
now, yes, so now you have those things that are actually on both sides, where you have a story that comes through from the Zungu's family, and you also have the story that comes from Zungu himself, saying he was with the person, to try now and make the stories if it makes sense, basically.
Yes.
Now, I don't believe, because now Baloyi has not got a statement from General Sibia in terms of saying, can you confirm whether you did actually have a meeting with Zungu? Because Zungu says, when I went to the office of General Shaban, it's like he found General Sibia there. But let me get things to context so that you can see how then I'm starting to think that these are some elements of cooking that have gone wrong between Zungu and them. This cooking, Noni, I'm sure that it will have happened while General Sibia was still in exile, was still being suspended, was still being fired, not working for SAPS. So now then it will have been easy for the police to frame Sibia by branding him as that, since they've already named the mastermind. You see, I'm using the word frame because there is evidence that I'm going to play now on the clip here. This clip now that talks about the number that they say it belongs to Moses Sibia, the
Yes.
iPhone 6. But then we later learned from Brigadier Kininda and saying that Kelly was in contact with General Sibia.
I remember.
Now, in court, we still don't have a statement of Kelly that has been read out. We're still not sure whether General Sibia is part of the witnesses that's actually going to be called. So for me, knowing that, parallel to that, there was a case that Baloyi was doing to prosecute General Sibia and Dramat and everything like that on the side. I'm thinking that Baloyi will have wanted to use that to actually nail General, basically, because it doesn't make sense, honestly. I'm fair. It just doesn't make sense, Noni, that why Baloyi will not want to get a statement from Sibia, like he did. Remember when Sfiso Meiwa was mentioning stuff about Ubab Khoza? He went through and get a statement for clarification.
Yes.
Now, why he will have been quiet about the story of General Sibia? You understand? This is when I'm thinking, Noni, that, you know what, Baloyi in this instance will have had ulterior motive to actually try and brand maybe General Sibia and saying that, you know what, Kelly, the masterminds, he enjoyed protection because he's been communicating with the generals and so on. Let me play this.
God. Wait, so does that mean there is some sort of beef way before this Senzo Meyiwa case when it comes to the general and Baloyi?
Yes, no, I'm going to release that on a different channel. Okay. But I can tell you what, because Sibia even go in details and say,
we have 4 minutes.
Charges, yes, these charges that are laid before me are fabricated charges, basically. But let me play this thing to close up this matter that I was telling you about.
Okay.
About this thing on my TikTok. To this clip. I hope it's the right clip.
795.
Manje ke uhlabokelwa le cellphone kwakuyi ZTE V795.
The iMan.
No, it's sorry, Noni, it's the wrong clip. Let me get the correct clip, basically. But it's the clip that I want to get you. It's a clip that will clarify a few things when Ramsipele is actually asking Steyn valid questions. And then Ramsipele even says that Moses is going to come here and then tell you that what, this number I do not know, because this number in your form is written General Sibia. is written Sibia. It's an iPhone 6. That is, never used the iPhone, the i6. So here's the clip, Noni. Let me just.
We have 3 minutes.
Yes. Just try to share your.
It also says at Muzi, which is his Patrick Sibia, and then at Muzi, and it gives the number. My instructions are that he doesn't know who Patrick Sibia is because it also says at Muzi, which is his name.
Staying when silent. Shocked.
Why are they
That's the same
silent?
number I did mention on the other page
Yes.
of him,
Yes.
where I received the information that it's his.
Yeah, but he says he doesn't know who that Patrick Sibia is. And furthermore, he has never ever used an iPhone 6 at the time of this incident or prior to the occurrence of this incident.
My lord, I got information that he was in possession of that phone when we did a search in prison.
Now, I don't want to be a spoiler, no. So now then you see that iPhone 6, that number, that's when Gininda reads out the number when he was questioned by Mnisi. It's a number of General Sibia. That there was the one that was questioning on this thing. Now, how can Steyn says a number of General Sibia was found in prison on the raid? Now, do you see when I'm saying that it's a cooking gone wrong?
We don't have time, Jeffs. We have 1 minute and we're going to talk about this because we are not done with this. We're going to come back. We start from here, from this clip. You need to, from this clip and the clip working in that says the number belongs to Sibia. Is that what he said?
Yeah. Yes. That clip, I'll play it for you and your friends.
We're gonna do that on our next video because wow. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. That was Njabulo doing what he does best with data. So I'll see you on our next video. Thank you so much, James, for gracing us with your presence. Thank you, guys. Please do not forget to like, to share, to comment, and subscribe, and send this video wide. Okay. Thank you so much, James. Bye-bye.